Hello and welcome to my first episode of Season 9 on the Otlichno server. Before we begin, I just want to do like a quick channel update and my general plans going forward. Everything's not like super solidified yet, so I'm kind of open to suggestions. But my general plan for now is to do most of the content live on Twitch and then just do grindy stuff off stream. And then YouTube episodes will be more of updates slash like tours and that type of thing. Then I also plan on doing more variety stuff on Twitch. I'm not sure if I'll upload any of that to YouTube yet. Maybe like more in a highlight sense, maybe. But yeah, like if anyone has any thoughts or opinions on that, let me know in the comments. And then my Twitch link is in the description, and also my Twitter link is in the description. I think I'll primarily announce streams via Twitter and stop doing like the few second long YouTube videos, just because it's kind of a waste of a sub box, I would say. And then you can also just follow the Twitch channel to see when I'm live. But yeah, Season 9. It started about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I believe. And already, like, quite a bit has been done. That is Justice's base. That is my base so far. And then this is an iron farm with a really convoluted item transport system over to a storage silo. But yeah, so I think today we're just going to do a tour, and then I'll end it by going over my general plans for my base. So let's just go over to the Atlas Cave, which is kind of the entrance cave to the entire area. And if you watched the like teaser for the season that I put up before it started, the cave we enter, like the cave I enter in that I guess little cinematic, connects over to this cave, which is why all the like starter stuff is here. So let's just go over here, and I imagine we'll probably tear down a lot of this and reformat it a bit, because I don't think it's used too much at this point now that everyone's kind of, they have a decent start elsewhere, so not everyone's using all the starter stuff. So we can probably condense this a bit and, like, move it to the side, so we can put, like, cosmetic stuff there instead. We just have simple farms. And then, yeah, like, just a bunch of random stuff everywhere, pretty much. And then what I worked on in the last stream I did as of recording this was make a gold farm, which was based off of Ilmango's design. And then I did that because we needed XP, because we only had a blaze farm and now a few more other spawner farms, but they're just not fast enough anymore. So I made a gold farm. So we might as well just go check that out. And then speaking of streaming, so far it's pretty much been Minecraft, and then I did one old school RuneScape stream with a friend, where we more or less blindly went and tried duoing Nightmare for the first time, where Nightmare's a endgame boss. It took us an hour and a half to get like 1 kill at it, but it was a fun time because a lot of new mechanics we hadn't really dealt with before. But in terms of streams in general, I think I'll probably reserve them for more interesting stuff, because I did stream making the gold farm, but that's not a very eventful thing, or it's not, like, I'm just following a tutorial for it, or I followed a tutorial for it, which, I'm not going through, like, a creative process or anything for it, so I don't think it would really be what a lot of people would want to watch. So I'll reserve streaming for whenever I'm doing something either I made and I'm making a game, like I made in a creative world first, and then I'm building it here because it's at least my design and I can talk about what went into designing it, or just like fully creative things, or yeah, just more interesting stuff in general for streams, because it is live. I can't like edit it to make it interesting. And then for games, old school RuneScape is a very grindy game, so I would probably only ever stream like bossing or whatever raids I might be doing with a friend. Maybe some solo bossing like Corrupted Gauntlet, because I've been meaning to do more of that. Then I also need to do the Inferno sometime. Oh, 1 second, let me mute that. Minecarts are very friendly creatures, if you don't know. But yeah, just... I want to keep streams more, like, solely interesting content and don't do grindy stuff. But this is a modified version of Ilmango's design, updated with all the, like, all the cheaper stuff you can do in 1.17 now. It took forever to get all this magma, by the way, but I guess, like, overall, for how good the farm is, it's not too bad. Then I also replaced all the glass with slabs because they work fine for pathfinding now. And then the anvils with grindstones, which isn't too much of an issue because we have a good iron farm. But other than that, there's like alarm pigment in the corner, so then you just aggro the pigment, and then you get tons of XP, which is really nice. Speaking of which, I need to repair my stuff, and I'm just gonna mute all that. And leave that at like 25. So I'll just wait here. Then in terms of other games I plan on streaming, I've been wanting to do another playthrough of Dark Souls Remastered. I'm not sure when I'll do that though, because I think my intention would be to play through the Souls games again leading up to Elden Ring in January 2022. And, like, I'm fairly experienced with the Souls games, so I wouldn't expect it to take me very long. Like, I could probably beat Dark Souls 1 in, like, probably, like, 8 hours, give or take. Less if I, did a speed run, but... yeah, like, it wouldn't be it's not a first playthrough by any means, because I have way too many hours in all the Souls games. But I just kind of want to play that again for something different. I'm not sure if I would do Dark Souls 2 again, but I would definitely do 1 and 3. Like, Dark Souls 2 is a good game, but from what I've seen in the trailers, it looks like Elden Ring will play much more similarly to Dark Souls 1 and 3, when Dark Souls 2, it just handles differently. And I prefer the, like, handling and play style of 1 and 3 anyway, so if I'm not feeling like playing Dark Souls 2, I don't see why I would play through it again. Other games I might end up streaming. I think those are the main ones. So Minecraft primarily, sometimes old school RuneScape, maybe Dark Souls 1 and 3. Yeah, I'll probably just, or if any other games sound interesting or you would want to watch me play, let me know. Because I tend to not play a huge variety of games. I just stick to a handful and put way too many hours into them. Which, it works for me. Okay, so that was the main nether stuff. There was a fortress and blaze spawner farm the other way, but it's really far and I doubt it's going to be used much. Actually, I do have 3 wither skeleton skulls I need to kill, but I'll probably do that on stream sometime. So this is Atlas Cave, where there's Upper Atlas and then Lower Atlas. Where this is upper, then below there's lower. Then that is Nate's house, and then below is Arctic Gaming and Mudbucket's house. I know Arctic is doing YouTube, and I'll have a link to the channels page in my description. I don't know who's all doing content. I know Arctic, Denesto, and Justice are, I'm pretty sure. So those are the main 3 to check out for the time being. And if I missed anyone uploading videos, I'm sorry, but just let me know in the comments and I can make sure you get linked and all that. So these are general farms. Actually, yeah, let's just do a full tour. That's a little passageway that doesn't have a name yet. That is Jeeb's underground base. Oh, I probably should have talked about all those details a bit more. So for this season, we're using the, like, preview data pack for 1.18. It's 1.17, but we're using the preview pack to have the new caves. They're not fully finished, but it's the interesting part of it anyway, which is the, like, world gen. Then as part of that, we kind of wanted to challenge ourselves by staying underground for as much as possible. So that's what this timer is. It's the number of minutes spent not AFK underground in a continuous sense. So if I went above ground, it would reset. So yeah, that's one of the challenges, and there are a few exceptions, like you can go above ground at night if you wear a pumpkin on your head. And then the timer doesn't go up, but it doesn't reset. But I've only done that a handful of times to get like sand, and then at the very beginning to get 2 cows to start a farm. But other than that, I've spent the entire time underground. But that cave up there is Brightstone. I don't think anyone's really building there yet, but it's just a nice central cave that's high up. Then this is Hero's Cavern. I also don't think anyone's building here yet. There's a lot of caves here, by the way. So it's going to take a while for it to fill up. The main ones so far that are being used are the Atlas, Grand, and then Strider's Gap, I think. But this is an interesting cave. It's nice because it's multi-layered around like this nice central pillar structure. Oh, I'm down here now. Yeah. Nope. I really have not played this game enough lately. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of surprised no one's building here yet, because I feel like this would be like the perfect area for a base with like a rickety bridge going between the pillars to the like second layer anyway. And then over there is a bunch of underwater caves, which again, it's really cool how it all connects like that. Just for the sake of time, I won't go through everything too much for the video. But if you have any questions and you catch me streaming, feel free to just ask me to do a tour there, I suppose. But then this is the Grand Cavern, which has the well, after Atlas Cave anyway, it has the most people building in it. So it has me, Anaksha, who he did all the custom data packs, and if you're more interested in those, I'll leave a link to his like explanation video for them. Because he'll go through all of them, because there are quite a few. And most of them are just kind of quality of life stuff. But yeah, back to the buildings. And then Justice with his giant tree over there. And then Iron Farm, which Naksha made as well. And then Dinesto's building down here in Strider's Gap. Over there. And if you want to look at his build, you can check out his video on that. And then there are 2 more caves over this way. I'll peek into the first one, but not the second one, because it's a bit of a long route to get to the second one, because it's only technically connected, not directly. And I also don't think anyone's building there yet. Then that's just Justice's like starter base. Yeah, tons of it. Like, the main reason we went with this cave for the Spawn Town cave is not because any individual cave is too large, but because it's a very complex cave system connecting like 6 caves together. Okay. Okay, yeah, and it's pretty much unlit still. And this is a really large cave as well, so I imagine we'll eventually expand out this way once oh, Enderman. Did I accidentally look at an Enderman somehow? That's impressive. Oh, 4 Ender Pearls, don't mind if I do. But, and then that's another good, I would say good thing about the challenge of staying underground. It's slowed progression well, not too much, but quite a bit. Like, we have in, like, villager trades and an iron farm and a gold farm now, which are all pretty, like, I guess they're fairly early game things to do, but they're very powerful things to have. But we haven't gotten to the end yet, so we don't have an Enderman farm or Elytra. But I don't think Elytra probably won't be too much of a priority this season, because Ender Pearls are enough for most of these distances. But the caves are large enough that it will still be useful to have. But finding the end portal might be a little more challenging than usual, mainly because we're confined to caves. Although I guess we could just use like trig, or I guess more geometry to find out the general area of the portal. Just like throw two ender eyes like at different parts of it, then just use math to find the like general location of it. But yeah, I do really enjoy having more challenge to it. Oh, that's just kind of there, whatever. Because it slows stuff down and it kind of forces a different way to play the game than usual, which at least for me is a good change of pace, because that's kind of why I hadn't been playing much Minecraft recently. Recently being the past like 3 years. Because I didn't feel like any of the updates really changed the game much. And I was at a point where I was really burnt out of it, but this change of pace has kind of got me back in, which is nice. Anyway, now that we're 15 or 16 minutes into the video, I'll finally start talking about my plans for the season so far anyway. So my general inspiration for the build so far is the Elven King's Hall from Lord of the Rings. Actually, I think it was technically the Hobbit movies, but like that universe, I guess. So kind of mixing in a cave system with like elven architecture, I guess, so lots of nature and that type of thing. I do plan on expanding the moss down this way and probably having more structures and that type of thing. Probably terraform the rivers a little bit more just so it's built a little bit better, but I don't want to do too much terraforming because I think building with the terrain, especially when that's a large reason why we started the season when we do, to like have the new cave terrain, I feel like it would be better to build with it instead of just terraform everything to my liking. Like, I don't mind changing the stone to like moss and grass and that type of thing, because it's still the same terrain, it's just a different feel. So this is what I've built so far, just the entrance to it. And I'll probably have some like custom trees coming out of the mountain and down there as well. I probably won't do a giant tree like Justice is doing, just smaller, oh, okay. Just smaller custom trees and that type of thing. And then for the inside, I'm gonna make my 3 tall piston gate here because I really like the design. And I'm pretty sure it's still the most compact 3 tall piston gate for Java edition. I haven't seen a better one anyway. Yeah, so for the inside, I'm planning on having like a bunch of bridges and then like intersection areas with bridges going outward. So once I have like ender pearls from an enderman farm or elytra, I can just fly around very quickly. It might be a little bit inconvenient to get around before then, but I think for like future proofing it, it's going to be a really nice design to have it be fairly open and then just be able to like zip around wherever I feel like. And I might also experiment with different elevator designs, like maybe slime launchers for a few places and maybe a flying machine, maybe. That's another thing about building in a cave, because like you have almost like a different dimension that you usually don't have to work with when building in an open area, and you can see Noxia's already been making really good use of the ceilings by having item transport go up there. I feel like it'd be kind of a waste to not make use of like a cave environment. Then that's also why I want like it to be open, but have a bunch of like different transportation systems going all over the place so I can get up and down as easily as I can go horizontally, for example. But other than that, even though we do have villager trading already at Mud's base, I do kind of want to set up my own system just for I think more or less for the experience of it, but I also want to try and make it as unnecessarily, well, not complicated as possible, but as like automated as possible in a sense. So like set up a breeder and then villagers are automatically transported to different trading stalls and then have a zombie conversion system built in. Just all that type of stuff. And then I don't need to make an iron farm because there's one right there. And it's going to produce more than enough iron for everyone. Yeah, so villager trading system, that will also include all the farms. A bunch of redstone stuff, so I'm making my door. I also kind of want to mess around with a combination lock. Again, I've seen a good design for the lock part, but I'm messing around with a lectern input. Because most of the inputs I've seen, like you put the book to the correct page, but then you have to press a button. So I'm messing around with a pulse extender and then a falling edge detector. So you just cycle through the book pages until you're to the correct page. Then you pause for a little bit and then it automatically inputs it. That way it's a little bit more user friendly. But I need to mess around with the timings a bit because like you don't want it to be too fast of a falling edge, or you don't want the pulse extender to be too short, because then you have to like spam click between the pages to make sure you get to the right page before it accidentally reads another input. But you also don't want it to be too slow to where you have to wait in between inputs instead of just inputting them at like a natural pace. But like the concept's working, I just need to mess around with it a bit more. Anyway, I think I'm to the point where I'm kind of rambling. I said my general plans for the base this season. And if anyone has any input on what they would want to see, I guess from my YouTube channel in terms of like, are updates enough? Because the main reason I want to, I guess like shy away from doing like active builds in a video to where like I'm doing lots of cuts and that type of thing, is it requires a lot more planning instead of just doing that stuff on stream. And I feel like the extra time that goes into planning out a video so it has a good pacing and it makes sense, I would rather spend that time just playing the game, because grad school kind of makes it difficult to play games anyway. So when I do have time to play games, I would rather just play the game instead of planning out a video. But yeah, that's the general reasoning behind that, like, change, but I'm open to any suggestions on how to make it better. Yeah, don't forget to follow my Twitter and Twitch, because that's probably how I'm gonna, like, do stream updates or plan updates. And then most of my content will be done live on stream, and then YouTube will be updates. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like or subscribe if you're not already. And then, again, if you have any comments or suggestions, just leave them in the comment section, as you would expect. Anyway, I'll see y'all later.